Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city and Also Asked is the only tool to access live People Also Asked data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
Hey Brighton, how are you doing? Happy to be here, and let me start a bit far away, from internal linking. What makes our community so special? I think about that during preparing to my presentation. Everyone has own story, how you became an SEO, right? There are no such, program in university or wherever. It was some kick for you to dive deep into SEO and in the end became SEO specialist, professional. In my particular case, it was internal linking. Thank you, internal linking, that I became an SEO. So we will talk today about big websites and catalog websites and such type of things like unique content, EIT, authors, etc. You almost forget, you don't know how it looks like. You have only thousands and thousands or millions of pages, thin content, some thin descriptions, duplications. Here is our world, right? So, as almost any presentation in 2025, we have to have something from AI, right? So ask AI about what is internal linking and how it does. And do you see what AI puts first about internal linking to help users, right? Because very often a perception of internal linking when you're talking with your management, with product team, it's something like this, endless links list in the bottom of a page, which nobody likes, everybody hates it, but it's helping users. So let's start from the theory and why do we need, in general, internal linking? So why it's so important? And let's see some pages on a website, right? So it could be, if we're talking about big websites, it could be clusters. So on every icon, it might be 10,000 pages, for example. And this is the title of a slide. It's a bunch of pages. Still, what makes bunch of pages as a website? Makes internal links that you connect page with each other. Why it's so important? So basically, let's imagine old times when we didn't have any sitemaps, etc., even search engine. Internal links was only the one way to reach a content, to reach any page on a website. And you might see already that some pages are not linked. So we call those pages orphans. So for Google as well, it's very difficult to reach those pages, to crawl them, the same as a user. There are no magic way to find those pages, except of sitemaps and other submissions. But if we look more deeper, we see even like disconnected cluster. So you have like a whole website, but it's like some parts doesn't connect between each other on the whole website. And it ruins your site structure. So by design, we have to connect all our pages, all our cluster within them. Why do we need internal linking again? To build semantic connections between pages. Why it's so important? Let's try to find semantic on this page. I believe it's not so visible for the whole auditory, but there are some type of website like automotive catalogs. Every car has about 40,000 SKU. So every nut and bolt has own SKU. And for example, here we see a page for camshaft acid, some assembly in the engine, and like happy KTM motorcycles owners used to search this thing like during the last 5 years. What semantic do we have here? Only title, only VIN number, and manufacturer, nothing else. And we can generate semantic for such huge volume of pages, right? But if we take a look on another example, when we build our page, like every item here is a separate page, but they are connected between each other. The whole assembly of like engine head, it has camshaft, it has sprockets, etc. It has breadcrumbs, so we can follow the mod, like to go levels up to the whole motorcycle, for example. It helps Google to understand, is your previous page was like auto-generated spammy content, or it's like has some connections between other page to understand it. And the last but not least, it should be first, to be honest, to help our users. Like the common example, like customers also bought, it really helps, it works, and why not to use that? So, with internal linking, with a proper implementation of internal linking on a big websites, we can achieve tons of good things, like increasing crawl budget, website indexation, many things. And I believe like even Sunshine and Brighton SEO could be way bigger, with our internal linking. But in the end, all this going to organic traffic increase, what we are looking for, because crawl budget is nice, very nice to show such type of charts, but so if you think like the basic thing about internal links, how can you perceive the amount of referring internal links to a page? It's like importance of this page within a website. Just imagine you have 1 million pages, and a page A has, 10 internal links pointing to this page from other pages. And page B has thousands of internal links pointing to this page. What page is more important in the eyes of Google? We don't have any content, okay? So just, thin content, duplicated content, product description. So obviously, it's a matter of importance. And the question is, do we need to work with internal linking right now? And I know you expect me those two words, right? That we everybody something don't like. No, thank you for your attention. So during the last years, with all this JavaScript migration and new technologies, etc., many websites started to lack to the foundational thing, load time and server-side rendering. If you have any issues with your load time, for example, your average load time 2 seconds and more, for example, you don't have server-side rendering, don't do internal linking right now. You have to fix that, and after, please go to internal linking. Don't waste your time, because it won't bring any results. So let's start a real thing. We have a catalog. Like recently I dived into amazing world of 3D printing to build my underwater drone. So we have a common catalog, the hundreds of catalogs as you might saw before. And we have facet filters, we have catalogs, we have footer, pretty common. So you wanted to play, especially after my presentation, you wanted to start doing some internal linking improvements here. You're going to your product team, to your management team, and asking like, can I possibly like insert here some block of internal linking or here? And the answer is, of course, no. You can't do anything because it's for user experience, etc., etc. You know better than me what answers you might have. So, but what if I suggest you don't touch things that already works very well and works for years, for example, who are brave enough to touch some functionality of existing internal linking that already for 5 years on your website? You know. But you saw we had a spot in the bottom of a page under the catalog. So why don't use it, right? Oh, like you can't find that page, but the basic idea, don't touch it. So I wanted to show you the patch solution, how to deal in real world, the practical approach, not with unicorns and rainbows, but on real, especially in the old projects. So we have a few paradigms here, basically 3. The first is donor and acceptor paradigm. So what does it mean? Get some category, some part of your website, or even whole website. you have your super pages and you have your low-end pages. So your strong pages is basically with scroll budget, with traffic, with backlinks already well. Internal link is all performing pages. And you have weak pages. Depending on your needs, you might want to increase your crawl budget, or you might want to push your already high-performing page from top 5 to top 3. So the idea is, if you want to increase your crawl budget and indexation in a whole, so you can put links on your strong pages to your weak pages, to transfer, link juice, link weight, link authority, you name it. We have a lot of names to this pattern. Weak pages, again, because we have a lot of weak pages, and many of them will be with small crawl budget, etc. We can boost through weak pages your strong pages to move from 11th position to 10th position to 9th, etc. So low-hanging fruits that we all love. But in old ages, we had some random internal linking blocks, some just by categories, etc. But nowadays, and those nowadays already many years ago, semantic is the key, because we remember internal linking especially to help users as well. And the basic benchmark for your internal linking, your mom will click on your internal linking block, will it help her? So garden tools with bathroom clothes doesn't make any sense, or cases for iPhone 16, I don't know, link with cases to iPhone 10. Doesn't make any sense either for user, either for Googlebot. And technically, it was very difficult to implement even 2 years before. We had some technologies like sim hash, min hash, etc., but they lacks of performance. And OpenAI in general, AI text embeddings, is amazing. We love them, and already you might read a lot of tutorials how to crawl your website in Screaming Frog by processing text embeddings, and it's like magic, few hundred float numbers for your page that represent semantic of a page. So iPhones with iPhone cases, for example. But you remember we are talking about catalog websites, no unique content, very thin part of titles, SQs, etc. It's partial solution, unfortunately. We have to use proper categorization. You can't simply link in 1 million pages website, page A with page B on whole website. You have to narrow the selection of pages to be within category, subcategory, to use some tags, wherever, depending on your catalog. It's one of the crucial things to help to perform with your text embeddings. The third part is fixed internal linking. Your current internal linking is generated by widgets during the page rendering. So page renders and some logic, okay, let's select subcategories with top products, etc., etc. So you don't have a list of your internal linking. So you have to create your own. And internal linking should be generated and stored into database. And basically, I will show you the database. Look how difficult it is. It's just 3 columns. Donor URL, so where you will put your internal link. Anchor text, so what it will be the text on your link. And acceptor URL, nothing else. And if we talk, so when you will generate your internal links, it might, 10,000 internal links, 100,000 internal links, whatever. Your developers might ask, we need new infrastructure to store 1,000 hundreds internal links. But no, it doesn't require so much resources. But it's crucial aspect. Why? Because it's stable. You know what you put on your website. It's easy to develop, it's easy to analyze, and you can make some updates, some fixes within it. So fixed internal links, I should put it maybe first, point here. And the last but not least, let's go through quick to-do list, how can you proceed on your real-world project. First of all, is to define a goal, what you want to do. So there are two types of website. We want more pages in Google Index, we want less pages in Google Index. So depending on what you want, it's different path. Let's go with more pages in Google Index. It will be easier. So Again, from your 1 million pages website, you have to narrow the selection. I believe, my personal opinion, so such type of things should be done through experiments. So you have to narrow your selection to some significant amount of pages. It doesn't make any sense to play with internal linkings for 100 pages. Nah. It will be not so statistically significant. So go for 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 pages. It's a good amount to start and to, in the end, to see the results. Make a crawl, analyze your internal linking state. So maybe you selected your top categories and everything very fine. So what types of pages you want to interlink? So if it's category pages, it will be easier because categories are stable in general, so they don't come to stock and go out. Product pages is another story because you have to be careful with not linking out of stock product, etc. Tax pages. I will recommend you, for example, go with categories. It's way easier for the start. Group selection, you have your bunch of pages, so donors pages, acceptor pages, you split them, and of course, if we're talking about crawl budget increase, you have to have more donors pages rather than acceptor pages to link them. Make an AI crawl, so prepare Screaming Frog, for example, with AI text embeddings, make your needed custom extractions, breadcrumbs wherever, so you will use this information. And the step 4 is formula configuration. So I will explain this a little bit later, but in general, the 3 basic configuration parameters, what you will use with your implementation of internal linking algorithm or with someone other. How many links can we put on every page? And in old ancient times, we used to put 100 links on a page. That's why nobody likes our internal linking before. But nowadays, I believe 5, 6 additional links to your e-commerce page doesn't break anything. It will look very nice through the interface, and your product team hopefully will be fine. And decide how many links every acceptor needs. Usually it's good to start from 10 to 20 internal links, and after you will see how formula performs. Field for categorization, okay, breadcrumbs, we might use it. And text, AI text embedding distance by, okay, I will explain you. So usually if we're talking about OpenAI, it will be like 0.7, 0.8, it shows very good results. So you generate, and it's our black console tool. So, and analyze and fine tune, because you might enter parameters and not enough internal links put into acceptors. Okay, you fine tune the parameters. In the end, it's about results evaluation after your deployment, etc., etc. So 3 main things, and I believe the end of the list is the main thing here: impressions and click changes. So with data approach, with your crawl budget analysis, with your Google Search Console data, you can clearly see, is it work or is it doesn't work. No just assumption, it might be or wherever. It's just a matter of numbers. What's good in implementation internal linking, because it works. It's relatively cheap. You don't need to spend tons of money on content, tons of efforts on backlinks, etc. It's what you're doing on your websites with your developers. You have to be friends with your developers team and understand what you wanted to do. The difficult part here is implementation of an algorithm. So last year, we spent more than a year by trying to develop this algorithm. How should you put links on acceptor and donors with all this categorization? And we know this pain. And I can't imagine, how hard it is to implement on especially real-world big project when developers has to-do list of their tasks till, I don't know, till the next year. So that's why we built it and we made this tool free. It's like for all customers, etc. But it's one piece. In the following months, I believe, like in the end of May, June, we will release our console tool to the public for free, no strings attached, etc. So you will have the opportunity to play and to use our internal linking for your website. Because I really want to help here with one of the most difficult tasks in technical SEO, to show that you can use like free tools, simple Screaming Frog with all this extraction, and to deliver results, to show that internal linking works and technical SEO is not boring stuff, it brings money to your project. So for us, it's just, for me, a matter to write the all needed documentation, examples of our internal linking, and hopefully in a few months, I believe in the end of May, beginning of June, it will be released to the public. Thank you very much for your attention.